Tesla may be quietly moving away from the name Cybercab, and the reason matters more than most people realize. If this shift is real, it tells us something big about how Tesla plans to scale autonomy, how it wants people to own future vehicles, and why the long-term investment thesis may actually be getting stronger, not weaker. Today, I want to walk you through my thinking on why Cybercar is starting to look like the real direction, what Tesla's trademark moves reveal beneath the surface, and what this could mean for Tesla's entire vehicle lineup over the next decade. Hi, this is Ken. Let me start with my conclusion up front. I don't think Tesla changing from Cybercab to Cybercar is just a naming issue. I think it's a signal that Tesla is designing one autonomous vehicle platform that can serve multiple ownership models at once: Robotaxi, personally owned cars, fleet vehicles, possibly all built on the same underlying architecture. And if that's true, the addressable market for Tesla's autonomy platform becomes far larger than most people are currently modeling. That's why this matters. For a long time, the community naturally called Tesla's Robotaxi concept Cybercab. It made sense. Cab implies taxi. Taxi implies ride-hailing. Ride-hailing implies no private ownership. So most people assumed Cybercab would simply become the official production name. But recently, Tesla filed new trademarks for two different names: Cybercar, Cyber Vehicle, not Cybercab, and small details like this tend to get overlooked. But in Tesla's case, names are rarely accidental. At first glance, many people reacted with confusion. Wait, wasn't it supposed to be Cybercab? That reaction itself is important because it shows how locked in the community had become to a very narrow interpretation of what this vehicle is supposed to be: a taxi-only machine. But Tesla has never limited its biggest platforms to a single use case. Think about Model 3 and Model Y. They're used as family cars, company cars, ride-hailing vehicles, delivery vehicles, fleet vehicles. Tesla designs platforms first, then lets the market decide how they're used. Cybercab as a name breaks that pattern. So let's talk about why Tesla might be avoiding Cybercab. One possibility is trademark issues. It's widely believed Tesla was unable to secure exclusive rights to Cybercab. If that's true, Tesla would need a replacement. But I don't think that's the full story. Even if Tesla could use Cybercab, the name itself creates a strategic problem. Cybercab sounds like a single-purpose product. A taxi, only a taxi, and Tesla doesn't think in single-purpose products. Now compare that to Cybercar. Cybercar doesn't tell you how the vehicle must be used. It doesn't say taxi. It doesn't say personal. It doesn't say fleet. It simply describes a car built around Tesla's cyber design, language, and autonomy stack. That flexibility is extremely powerful. It allows Tesla to sell the same vehicle to consumers who want to own it, companies who want to operate fleets, Tesla's own robotaxi network, one platform, many revenue models. This is classic Tesla thinking. Here's where it gets more interesting. Tesla didn't just file Cybercar, they also filed Cyber Vehicle. That sounds like an umbrella term, almost like Tesla is laying the groundwork for a new naming hierarchy. Cyber Vehicle as the family, Cybertruck inside that family, Cybercar inside that family, and possibly future vehicles that we currently call Model 3 and Model Y, eventually migrating into that cyber family as well. Not tomorrow, but over time. If you zoom out, Tesla has been quietly simplifying its lineup. Model S and Model X are no longer strategic growth products. They still exist, but they're clearly not the center of Tesla's future. The real focus is Model 3, Model Y, next generation platform. Autonomy. Tesla is moving toward fewer platforms with higher volume and lower costs. That's exactly the environment where rethinking naming conventions makes sense. because names become architecture. They shape how people think about what a product is. And Tesla doesn't want the future to be thought of as this is a taxi. Tesla wants the future to be thought of as this is an autonomous car that can be used however you want. That difference matters, psychologically, commercially, and strategically. Now, let's connect this to what Tesla has been doing operationally. Recently in the US, Tesla introduced a more affordable AWD version of Model Y. On the surface, that looks like a simple pricing adjustment, but underneath, it's about expanding the accessible market. More people can afford more volume, more data, more fleet potential. That fits perfectly with a Cybercar style philosophy. Look at Cybertruck. Tesla has begun rolling out vehicle-to-grid and power-share style programs. Your vehicle isn't just transportation anymore. It's part of the energy system. It's infrastructure. That same idea fits naturally with a future Cybercar, a vehicle that is autonomous, energy-connected, software-defined, not just a taxi, a node in a network. Tesla has also been quietly improving things like dashcam recording limits, USB storage handling, and voice control features in different regions. These aren't headline-grabbing changes, but they're exactly what you do when you're preparing products for massive scale. You polish reliability, you reduce friction, you make everything feel boringly stable. That's what mass adoption looks like. When you step back and connect all of this, a pattern emerges. Tesla is not building a special robotaxi car. Tesla is building a universal autonomous car platform. And that platform needs a name that can grow with it. Cybercar fits, Cybercab does not. So my base case is this: Cybercab slowly disappears from official messaging. Cybercar becomes the primary label, Cyber vehicle becomes the umbrella, and over time, Tesla's lineup becomes less about individual model names and more about platform families. That's exactly how large-scale technology companies evolve. Picking up from there, if Tesla is truly moving toward a unified autonomous platform, then the biggest impact is not on branding, it's on business model. And business model is where long-term valuation is decided. Today, most traditional auto valuations are still based on a simple idea. You sell a car once, you maybe earn some service revenue, and that's largely it. Tesla has been breaking away from that model for years. Software updates, connectivity, premium features, energy products. But autonomy takes this to an entirely different level. If a Cybercar can operate as a personally owned vehicle, a Tesla-operated Robotaxi, a fleet-operated Robotaxi, then Tesla earns value across multiple layers: hardware margin, software margin, autonomy subscription or revenue share, energy services, one physical product, many recurring revenue streams. That is fundamentally different from legacy automakers. This is why I don't view Cybercar as just a robo-taxi vehicle. I view it as Tesla's first true autonomy native car, designed from the beginning around. No steering wheel dependency, camera first perception, compute first architecture, always online software. That design philosophy doesn't belong to taxis, it belongs to platforms. Now think about what this does to Tesla's total addressable market. If Tesla only builds robotaxis, they compete mainly with ride-hailing companies. Large market, but still a defined market. If Tesla builds cybercars that anyone can buy, while also enabling robotaxi operation, the market becomes global car ownership, global ride-hailing, global commercial fleets, all at once. That's an order of magnitude expansion in opportunity. This also explains why Tesla continues to push cost reduction so aggressively: cheaper batteries, simplified manufacturing, unboxed process, not because margins are under pressure, but because autonomy only scales if the hardware is affordable. A $25,000 to $30,000 cybercar that can earn revenue autonomously becomes a financial asset. not just a consumer purchase. That is a radical shift. From an investor perspective, this reframes how we should think about Tesla vehicles, not as depreciating assets, but as potential income-generating nodes on a network, similar to how people think about rental properties or data centers or energy infrastructure. Each Cybercar becomes a mini cash flow engine. This is also why Tesla is so focused on vertical integration. Tesla designs the chips, Tesla writes the software, Tesla builds the factories, Tesla operates the network. When everything is internal, Tesla controls the economics. No middlemen, no platform tax. That's extremely rare in any industry. Now let's talk about timing. A lot of investors ask, when will robotaxis happen? That's the wrong question. The better question is, when does Tesla reach a level of autonomy that is good enough to begin limited scale commercial operation? Because once that threshold is crossed, the model can start. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be better than human drivers in defined areas. Tesla has been very consistent about one thing. They are optimizing for real-world data scale, millions of cars, billions of miles, continuous learning. No other company has this data advantage, not even close, and autonomy is ultimately a data problem. So when I see Tesla quietly shifting naming from Cybercab to Cybercar, I don't see marketing, I see alignment, branding catching up to reality. Reality being Tesla is not building a taxi company. Tesla is building the world's largest autonomous mobility platform. Now let me zoom out to the long-term investor lens. In the early days, people valued Tesla as a car company, then as an EV company, then as a tech company. I think the final evolution is this. Tesla becomes valued as infrastructure, autonomous infrastructure, energy infrastructure, AI infrastructure. Cars are simply the physical endpoints. If that thesis plays out, short-term stock price movements become much less important. Volatility will happen, macro cycles will happen, sentiment will swing. But the underlying trajectory is what matters. Is Tesla expanding its platform? Is Tesla reducing costs? Is Tesla increasing autonomy capability? So far, the answer remains yes. So my personal takeaway is simple. Cybercab fading away is not a negative. Cybercar emerging is not cosmetic. It's a signal that Tesla is positioning autonomy as something everyone can own, not just something you ride in. That is a much bigger vision. As long-term investors, our job is not to predict next week's price. Our job is to identify platforms that can compound for decades. Tesla, in my view, is still building one of those platforms. Quietly, methodically, relentlessly. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe Cybercab survives, or does Cybercar become the future? Either way, this naming shift tells us one thing. Tesla's autonomy strategy is getting closer to reality. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's continue to enjoy the Tesla-powered future together. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.